We are back for the Dell match play coming to you live from Austin, Texas. We've got G and Willy on tonight. Duty calls for the dad of the year, and we are in it to win it after Will Dog has won 3 straight, I believe. Coming off the Valspar victory, he's got Sam Burns, who is hot, and what a win that was, coming down to a playoff, the second hole against Davis Riley. We all would have thought that the other Alabama kid would have made it into the playoff, and Mr. Justin Thomas, but Davis Riley, he played well all week, got himself there, and then eventually coming from, I want to say about 30 feet left of the pin, draining a big putt to win, defending his title successfully. Sam Burns getting Willy that coveted extra 3 points with that selection. So he's chasing right up the rankings, has gone from 4th to 2nd place in a matter of a couple of weeks of wins in a row. Only 4.5 points behind me as it stands. And we've got a lot of season left. Let's just say that. So heading right into the Dell match play from Austin, Texas, where Mr. G resides. And we'll get him on the ground there. Well, I guess boots on deck, as we were saying. So in the boat, diving off to catch Louis Oosthuizen's ball if it happens. And at first, we want to hear from Willy a little bit about some news around golf.
Yeah, just a few things of note. Obviously, Augusta National confirming that Phil Mickelson is not going to be competing in the Masters. He's got 3 green jackets, probably the most second famous, most prominent golfer of our era besides Tiger. And pretty much just not playing in the Masters because he self-sabotaged his public image. It's kind of just crazy to think about, honestly. Which brings up, or any comments on Phil not playing the Masters from you two before we move on to something that's indirectly related?
I saw something in a golf group on Instagram that I'm in, a DM group, and they said basically what I just read is that Phil Mickelson is afraid of the Saudis coming after him. And that wasn't my comment, just reiterating something I've heard. So I don't know if there's any truth to that, or if the PGA Tour is punishing him. Jay Monahan and him might have had a deal worked out, behind the scenes, but who knows? The big news is that Phil will not be at Augusta this year.
Yeah, that's some wild stuff. And leads into the Saudi Golf League, or the Live Golf Investments. I listened to a podcast with Greg Norman this week, and he very much made it clear that it is not the Saudi Golf League. It is Live Golf. But they announced a schedule and tournaments and locations, a few of which that go up against PGA Tour events. Some pretty unnoteworthy courses. They're okay. Haven't heard great things about them. But no list of who's going to be playing in those tournaments, and no information on who's going to broadcast them or how you're going to watch them. If you listen to his podcast, it seems like they're open for business on broadcast rights, but that is yet to be decided. It also sounds like you'll have to get waivers from the PGA Tour to play in those events, and the PGA Tour bylaws only allow 3 waivers a year. So we'll see what happens with that. Of course, Jay Monahan said anybody who plays in that tour is going to get banned for life. So that's another issue. And Greg also said he has not talked to any of the majors, and he doesn't know if the majors will allow him to play if they play in the Live Golf League. So I believe lots of uncertainty out there.
The Masters is the only major, and the British Open is the RNA, but the Masters is the only one that's not directly affiliated with the PGA Tour. Is that right?
No, the PGA of America runs the PGA Championship, I believe, and then the USGA runs the US Open. So the PGA Tour actually is not involved with any of the majors.
Okay, so potentially these players who go to the Live Tour could still play in the majors, potentially.
Yeah, and that's one of their big selling points from the tour, is that we're not going to go up against any of the majors, the Ryder Cup, anything like that. And the majors are pretty much at their own discretion, but it is noteworthy that Norman says he hasn't spoken to any of them, really.
Well, we hear a lot about the PGA Tour and the Live Tour, but what does the DP World Tour have to say about all this?
Haven't heard anything on that front. I mean, I know they have a strategic partnership with the PGA Tour, so and the PGA Tour pumped a bunch of money into the DP World Tour. So they probably just share the same sentiment as the PGA Tour. But
And
I
that,
haven't heard anything specifically from them, and I honestly don't really know how they're operated. So not too sure.
that would make sense. I'm sure as the Live Tour progresses and we get closer to British Open season later in July, we'll probably hear more about that as, we go to the Scottish Open and more of the DP World Tour and PGA Tour combine at that part of the season. But interesting as well, just to note that there is some interest still. I mean, there's PGA Tour players who will be going. We don't know who it is yet, but we do have a schedule. There are venues. I know Trump Bedminster is one of theirs. So that's also a controversial topic for many. But there was one, and I'm totally forgetting the name of the course, but it's somewhere up in the Northeast that was close enough for me to get to. Unfortunately, I'll be traveling that week, but I would have been interested in going to check it out if it was close enough and it made sense. But we'll see what happens.
Just outside of Boston. It's like I think it starts with an I. It's not like the Independent or something like that, but
I think
that
it
is
is
one of
called
the
the
courses
Independent.
that's like an hour outside of Boston is one of them for sure. And the final championship course has not been announced yet, but it's rumored to be Trump Doral because they've been making upgrades that extending tees, moving bunkers, things like setting up for tournament play.
Well, I've never seen anything at Trump Bedminster. They were supposed to host the PGA Championship this year, of course, got moved to Southern Hills. But Trump Doral, we have history at PGA Tour history. Tiger and Phil had an epic battle in 2005 there. And that's just a great course. I would be interested to see some of the upgrades, but mostly would be excited to see some of the world's best players. Maybe not the best in the world. We'll see who ends up on the tour, but some of the world's best players playing Doral again. It's been a while, and it's a great golf course regardless of who owns it.
Yeah, and Stevie Williams, listening to the Chasing Majors podcast, said the tee shot on 18 at Doral is top 3 toughest tee shots that he's ever caddied at.
Oh, I believe that. I remember I played it in late summer 2016, and it was I was looking it up at the time. I think it was one of the top 4 hardest par 4s on tour back when it was being played yearly at I think it was the WGC Ford Championship, whatever it was at the time. But yeah, that 18th hole, the Blue Monster, is a monster. It's a tough golf hole. I hit a kind of little shrimpy cut out to the right and had 150-ish in and tried to muscle a 9 and totally just went low worm burner that happened to skip over the water, literally skipped on the Blue Monster and ended up in the thick stuff, just over the, I think, left side of the green. Yeah, skipped over on the left side, and I chipped up to a pretty much tap in and made a par that way. But obviously that was nerve wracking. I stayed away from the water on my drive completely and then skipped over it. So that's a fun hole. It'd be fun to see those guys play it again. It's just a really good golf course. And, South Florida, as we know, has great golf to offer.
And something else, the courses, the venues are notably in cities that the PGA Tour kind of doesn't host too many events in, like Portland, Chicago, Boston, like cities that have historically been neglected. So that's something they're targeting as well.
Yeah, I wonder why that is with the PGA Tour. They used to have the Western Open, which became the BMW Championships, one of the playoff events in Chicago at Cog Hill. Portland, we've seen Tiger won at Pumpkin Ridge, one of his junior amateurs. Other than that, yeah, you don't see a whole lot up in the Pacific Northwest. Obviously, Chambers Bay, the 2015 U.S. Open, had a lot of scrutiny around it. People were not very happy with the greens that week. But yeah, not a lot in the Pacific Northwest. And now in the last few years, the Northern Trust has been split between New York and Boston, where each city used to have a tournament every year. I think you're right about that, Willie. It's kind of neglected in some of those cities, and it'll be good to have professional golf in some capacity in Boston and Chicago and Portland and some of the other ones. But it does sound like a good amount in the Northeast.
Yeah, they're going to fill those fields with some players, but it'll be interesting to see who.
We'll see who. Dust off those swings, boys. You never know. Well, we do have the WGC match play. I don't know about you guys, but this is the one event for match play a year besides the Ryder Cup or President's Cup where you get a full field. And this is a lot of fun. I just get so excited to watch this. It's over 5 days. So you get started on Wednesday, which will be tomorrow, and goes all the way to Sunday. I think the total holes played for the winner can average somewhere above 120 by the end of the week. So it's a busy week, only 2 weeks away from the Masters. You got to imagine if, some of the guys don't want to go the distance for that reason, but you never know. Garrett and I were lucky enough to be at this tournament in 2015 when it was in San Francisco as the WGC Cadillac Championship. None other than Rory McIlroy won it. And I believe at the time it was pretty close to his birthday. But just really fun tournament to see. I mean, these guys can get it done quick. As we saw, Willy, you sent that picture of Tiger beating, I think it was Stephen Ames in 2008, like 10 and 8 or something. Got it done in 10 holes. But this is just a great tournament. Really excited for it. Obviously, Austin Country Club is a tremendous venue, a very private venue. So tough to get on. We have a friend, Luke, who did get to play it once. I'm really excited for the short par 3 that pretty much you have to cover the water the entire way. I'm sorry, short par 4. I think it's number 13, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 14, but I'm pretty sure it's 13. So, if you're out there on the boat, that's a good hole to post up around, see if you catch some people driving the green there. But there's a lot of great holes. 17 is a tough par 3. You see a lot of matches end on 17 for sure. And, it gets started pretty tough. I remember last year, Jordan Spieth, do you guys remember this shot where he pulled it left into the trees off the tee and then had that low running hook that ran all the way to the back of the green where the pin was? He did miss the birdie, but what an incredible second shot. They'll be replaying that one a lot as people are on one, especially him. But we've got 16 groups to pick from, 64 players. Is that right? It's a WGC, so we got 16 times 4. Yeah. We're going to go ahead and pick groups for this one. And the winner of the group will be your representative going forward. So by the time we get to the weekend, each of us will have 4 players, but it just depends on who comes out of the groups that we pick. Obviously, we could pick John Rahm out of group 1, but if he fails to make the weekend, then you have one less guy on the weekend. So we're going to pick the groups. Whoever wins the group will be your representative. We're each going to end up with 4 for the Sweet 16 and the finale over the weekend. And then what happens is whoever gets the most points, and you get a point per win. So once you get to the Sweet 16, like I think a scenario is if Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth both get out of their groups, they would be matched up right away in the Sweet 16. And if Jordan Spieth beats Justin Thomas, sorry, G, I had to go with that route. But if Jordan Spieth was to be a winner in that one, he would get 1 point. Justin Spieth would be eliminated. No points for him. And that's how we're going to go about this one. So without further ado, we are missing Joe, but he is our first pick. And he is starting off by picking group 6.
Strong group.
And that's got Justin Thomas, Luke List, Kevin Kistner, and Mark Leishman. I'm sure he's vouching for Justin Thomas to come out of that group there. With me in the second pick, I am looking at group 5. I'm going to go with Scotty Scheffler and the Postman to come out of that one. Postman, obviously a great match play player.
Wow. Passing out group 11, huh?
Let's see here. Who's group 11? That one is, well, yeah, I mean, I want Spieth, but if you guys take him with Keegan Bradley, Adam Scott, or Justin Rose, if you guys take him in the first round, more power to you.
Dude, Keegan's been hot.
Yeah. I mean, first pick this week, definitely going group 1. Focus is on John Rahm. I think he's sweeping the field in terms of his first round competition. Ain't no thing.
Group 1 is off the board.
Yeah, that's a strong pick too. I am actually going to go with, no, I can't take them. I'm going to go with group 10. Just think they have some strong match play players in there.
Really?
Always solid. Paul Casey,
He's
No
not
Ryder
doing good
Cupper.
this week now.
Known Ryder Cup or match play player. I like Noren. He's been playing well. So I'm liking that group.
Real quick, as we get to the second round, I see that Bryson DeChambeau is in the field. It's confirmed he's playing.
Yeah, he hasn't withdrawn yet.
He hasn't withdrawn yet, and we haven't heard anything else. But this would be his first event back, so that's noteworthy news.
Yeah, he's posting videos of him swinging driver for the first time in 6 weeks, he said.
That's great to see. Also, shout out Registry. They just posted their first ever match in their channel, so it's a great one. I think it's similarly formatted to Good, and I know that they're all close down there in the Dallas area. So some exciting content to come from
Who posted their video?
Registry. It's the group with Bryson DeChambeau, Martin Borgmeyer, and Hogan Moulton. I think it's the main three there. So Willy went with group 10, and we're on to round 2. The selection that Joe provided with his order is group 15 next.
Yeah, I was going to take that. Brooks is playing well right now.
He is. He's making a comeback. I think he's preparing right in time for Augusta in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Well, let's see here. Match play players. Oh yeah, and he loves Abraham Answer, so that makes sense. Oh no, he took 15, which is Abe Answer and Bubba Watson, not Brooks Koepka.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think Koepka 16.
Yeah, Koepka's 16.
Yep.
Ooh,
that's a pretty strong group too.
It is. I'm looking hard at the Horschel group because he did win last year. I don't know. I skipped over.
The rest of the group is tough.
Yeah.
Peters does play pretty well in the World Golf Classics, but it's hard to trust the other two.
And you know who's coming along is Dustin Johnson. And there's a pretty good group there with Max Homa, Matt Wolf, Kenzie Hughes. Not really Wolf right now.
I gotta add something in here about DJ, and you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of him, but his wedge play coming off this break, I didn't watch the full coverage, but when I did, every time he had a short wedge in his hand, it was like maybe a foot max. So impressive, that update in his game. And I don't want to give him any credit, but it was pretty impressive he was super dialed. So kudos to him.
Absolutely.
You up?
I am indeed. And I am going to select from group 4, hoping for Patrick Cantlay to come around.
Wow, group 11 lives on.
Well, we got 4 picks here this week.
Yeah, it's definitely not living on now. Group 11 for Mr. G.
Nice.
He needs Adam Scott.
I think I'm gonna go Spieth out of that group if I were to guesstimate, but Adam Scott is always my guy. Also, the new Phantoms came out today. Can we talk about that? The new Scotties?
Absolutely.
Oh, they did.
Yeah. Did you guys see those? Holy moly. It's a split set. So meaning 3 are releasing in mid-April on the 15th, and then another 3 are introduced on June 15th. And one of them offering in a public mass distribution aspect is a center shafted Scotty, which has the Fang pack, similar to Scott's putter or what Joey's looking at right now, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Typically with a Scotty, to get it center shafted, you're looking at a Circle T, or you're looking at something that you get done, custom after the fact that you buy the putter, investing more money. But cool putters. Scotty finally decided to not add any volt green, nothing to mess with the design, just straight black, cool silver milled face. The thing is cool. He put
Joey's
color.
Looking at what?
He's looking at I forgot the specific name, but Odyssey has a higher end line, which is called Yinglong or something along those lines. I totally butchered that, but similar price point to Scotty's, but it's a fang tooth, just like your putter, but like the updated Odyssey or upgraded per se. It has a LA Lab shaft and some special grip too. So
Yeah.
should be cool. Didn't mean to interrupt, but I was pretty hyped on that today.
No,
Pretty epic.
that was great news. And do you think that'll be in the bags of players as soon as this weekend?
Oh, well, so
Probably already has been.
the prototypes have been in the bag since the players, or when did
That's
they
right.
introduce them? Maybe the waste management, maybe was the first tournament. Because we
That's right.
talked about it, D.
We did a few weeks ago now. So they've got to be in the bags.
But we expected 4, not 6 to 7 total, like new head designs and shafts, which is, I don't know. I'm stoked on it.
Yeah, and we saw a great ad featuring mostly Homa, JT, and Cantlay. I mean, 3 of the best players in the world, absolutely. Scotty's got a pretty large list on tour, that's for sure.
100%.
Willy with the final pick in round 2. Yep.
Is group 2 still available?
Group 2 is still available. That was going to be Joe's next pick.
Yeah, I'm taking group 2. I mean, I love Sergio. Even he's like the one I like the most out of that group. Obviously, Morikawa hasn't been playing that well recently. Kokrak solid. You got Big Bob McIntyre coming over from the DP World Tour. Might surprise some people. Solid group there.
So then following up group 2 in Joe's selections is group 3. That was his next pick. So Joe's got 6, 15, and 3 as his first 3 selections. Now I've got 5, 4, and I'm looking at.
Wait, who did Joe pick?
Group 3, which was Hovland's group.
Oh yeah, that was who I was going to pick.
Well,
this just in, Luke is going to the Masters.
Is he really? Wow.
Is he going to the Masters or is he just playing Augusta? Either way, pretty cool.
To attend the final day of the Masters Sunday.
I'd rather play than go to the Masters.
I agree 100%.
Whoa. So it looks like a work deal for him.
Yeah.
4 slots
Who's
of golf at Augusta Country Club.
Oh, that's not the same.
Tickets for the tournament on Sunday.
Well, that's chill, but playing Augusta Country Club will be solid.
Yeah, and going to the Sunday round. I mean, come on. Fly back first thing Monday morning. Wow, Luke, shout out whatever work deal brought that in for you. Holy moly. And then he comes a couple weeks later to Paynes Valley with us. So yeah, pretty good April for him.
Yeah, not bad at all.
I am really thinking about this one a little bit too much probably, but I think I am going to go with group 8, which is Dustin Johnson and Max Homa's in there as well.
Wow. Gee, was not going to take them.
Sorry, what group?
Dustin Johnson, Mackenzie Hughes, Max Homa, and the best player ever, Matt Wolff.
No. I think third pick is going to. Actually, has anyone picked group 2 yet?
Yes, group 2 is off the board.
Yeah.
Okay, group 2 and group 15, right?
Yep.
Okay, group 3 also, correct?
Correct.
So, what about 12?
12 is on the board for you.
Not confirmed yet. Hold on, boys. All right, yeah, I'll do group 12.
I was gonna say that's a good strong group right there. Still left on the board.
All right, I'll go group 13.
Terrell, Lord
Yeah,
Terrell.
and Berger, both Ryder Cuppers, match play bets. Even Bezzy was in the last Ryder Cup. Siwoo, President Cup guy, all match play experience.
That's a good group right there. I do believe so. All right. So what is going to be next for Joe here?
Yeah, good luck, D's.
It's getting tough.
Yeah.
Group 12 is gone. 11's gone. 10 is gone. 4 is gone. Yep. 12 is gone. Is 12 gone? Oh, yeah. 12. G just picked 11. So it looks like group 10. No, Willie, you took group 10. So
We're doing 4 groups. Why don't we do 3?
Gee, we need to have all the players.
We need to have all the groups.
Yeah.
Hey.
But group 7 is yeah. Group 7 is his next selection.
Congrats, Joe. You got group 7.
Xander.
By
And
default,
Tony.
that's the
Yeah.
last group.
Yeah, I definitely actually was looking at that one too. Xander and Tony in there. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So what is left? There's only 3 left.
You got
Bryson.
14,
9.
9. Is 16 still around?
I think it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so those 3.
14, 9, and 16. Ooh. All right, so that's 16. 14 is a no for me, dog. And 9 is also a no for me, dog. So I'm going 16, it looks like.
Yeah, tough to pass that one up given the other 2 groups, but hopefully by default, whatever one I end up with is a surprising group.
Yep. So, G, you've got either group 14 or group 9 left on the board.
I'll do group 9.
Group 9 it is.
Wow,
You're taking the
give me
Bryson route.
14. Kevin Na just had another kid. Joaquin, batted drill.
Yeah, Kevin Na did just have another kid. And Joaquin has been pretty good lately. I think that there's going to be a good player to come out of every one of these groups. Obviously, you have to win at least 2 matches and tie the second to move on pretty much. Yeah, we got a good one coming. It's bracketology, baby. We're in March. Let's get this thing done.
Let's go. Looking for 4
Let's
in a
do
row.
it.
Any of you guys have any March Madness picks left on the table? Your Final Four still intact?
Yeah, except for Kentucky.
Kentucky. Yeah, I picked the Zags. Went with the lengthy bean and Chet Holmgren. We'll see what happens. Coming up, starting on Thursday for the Sweet 16, right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, let's get this done. We got match play this weekend. G, enjoy it out there in Austin. Send us in some pics and videos. We'll get it out there on the Instagram. I'll get our group picks done. And then come the weekend, I'll see what our 4 players representing us are. And we'll go from there. Let's go. Austin Country Club. We'll see you next time.